Advertising 400 is a special topics course in the advertising school. It focuses on consumption and green advertising and getting people to be more sustainable, I guess, and effectively not litter on campus is our main goal. But I took it just because I have an interest in being environmentally friendly, and I'm an advertising student. So.
And it's sort of a two-part class. It's part of it is the environmental side, learning about sustainability, recycling, and all the things that come with being like part of the environmentalist. And then the other half is advertising, because it is an advertising class, and it's learning about how advertising and promoting certain items is bad for the environment because it encourages consumption, and it just kind of ties in together. The anti-littering campaign that we're doing with this class, it's been a semester-long kind of endeavor, and we started with research, looking at different campaigns that they've done at other universities, other campaigns that they've done worldwide, and seeing how effectively they work. And then we are all split up. There's a class that's about 30 undergraduates and 10 graduate students, and we're split up into different groups based on who wants to be a media planner and who wants to kind of be the creative end. So we get every like section of advertising or like campaign in one group, and based on that we kind of did preliminary ideas, presented them to the class. It's been a lot of feedback, so we've come up with an idea and then we kind of present it the next week. We get feedback on it and we change it for the week after.
I mean, our audience is you and me. It's students at the university, so there's a lot of class discussion about what works. And we know we're kind of biased because we're obviously in this class. We already care, and we need to get people who don't care. So those were big considerations, like how do you, how can you pay attention to what people not necessarily want, but what they do, what their habits are right now, and then to change that.
And it's kind of just been leading up to this workshop that we did.
Yeah, the conference was a one-day workshop where there was different speakers about sustainability within different fields, and there were psychologists that spoke, there were designers, there were advertisers, people in social fields, etc., all discussing what it is to be green, what it is to work within these fields and be green. The teachers mainly set up that aspect of it, like who was speaking and whatnot. They set up the workshop aspect. We kind of ran it. We had to do all the planning for it, figure out the caterer, set up the room, etc. But
I specifically really liked the speaker on the free cycle. She talked about how there's this whole organization where people are giving and taking items from other people within the same community, and it's more of a less of like a payment option and giving people money and getting something in return, and more of like a sentimental value for these items. Somebody had talked about wanting an item, wanting to give away a shirt that used to be her father's, and it was a shirt that meant a lot and he wore it a lot, and tell me why you need this shirt. It's a different type of consumption. I mean, they're still getting items, but it's a sentimental kind of exchange of items, and it's just kind of very interesting. So I definitely like that part of the workshop, and it's something that I even looked up online, so I like that.
To publicize the event and make campus aware, we did three main things. First one was create a website so that our other things had a place to direct people to go to find information about it. I was actually on the committee with a few other people. And we bought a domain name and put up a website pretty quickly. And then the second thing was the shopping cart guerrilla advertising event on the quad. And that was literally pushing a shopping cart around. It had garbage in it, had signs on the side say, see where we're going, greenuiuc.org. And that people, why is there a shopping cart? So people look, they're like, what's going on? Why why the hell are these people pushing shopping carts? And stuff like that really works because you have to catch people's attention somehow. And that's kind of one of those little things I'm talking about earlier, where you need something to spark someone's attention and get into it. So if it's something off kilter or off track, gets their attention, people are like, what's going on? So then they go check it out.
We took newspapers, daily Illini, and we painted with environmentally friendly paint, and we green and white, and we wrote greenuiuc.org and 4408, just kind of different ideas. Some people drew trees, some people are more artistic. So we, used old DIs, so we weren't, creating more litter or more paper, and we put them up all over campus. It's something that there are posters all over campus, and you see, flyers and paper, and this was just kind of something different, and it was handmade, and we presented our ideas, and we get $4,000 from the university, from Facilities and Services. A gentleman is offering to give us $4,000 to implement one or a combination of all of our campaigns.
Target it was a good experience at making an ad campaign. Very few classes, almost no classes, give you that opportunity here. So this was something we could do to direct towards a certain group. It had to be pertinent, it had to be funny. Not necessarily funny, it had to be serious, but also get people's attention, and humor is just one of the ways you can do that.
It kind of opened my eyes to how much, advertisers, want you to buy something, and it's consumption, and it's America. It's the type of thing that, we're kind of all used to. You see commercials on TV telling you to buy the latest product, but through this campaign we've kind of had to scale back on, not as much making people wanting to buy anti-littering, but, the type of campaigns that we've used, the, less of the paper, more of the, guerrilla marketing, less of the paper, more of the word of mouth. So it's just kind of the different ways that we're advertising kind of puts a bug in my ear, do I want to do this in the future? Can I bring these things that I've learned to companies that I want to work for? I think it's definitely something that, because I've learned it in school and at the university, I would be able to, be the fresh face of, the advertising company that I will work for, and kind of give them the idea, let's be more sustainable, let's, do something more environmentally friendly. Or I believe after this class I've learned a lot about consumption as a whole. As part of the class we've been doing blog. We have a blog on our website, and each week 3 to 4 students write on the blog about an article that they read, a website that they found, and we've been learning about all sorts of different types of, consumption problems, ways to combat consumption. So that's been really interesting, and I think that by taking this class, I've kind of learned, that there's a problem, and it's bigger than something that I can solve, but I can do a little bit to kind of change, one person's mind and, stop one person from littering. So I think it's something that I'm going to take away from this class and use in the future.
Being green, quote unquote, is going to be very lucrative in the near future. So, if you want to look at it from a money aspect, any way you can fit green into whatever, it's going to be lucrative, so it benefits financially. But I just generally think it's a good thing to be sustainable, to be green, and be environmentally friendly, and do what you can to do so. So any way I can learn more, for me, it's just a way to learn more about being green and do more to be green.
I think this class was created because there's a need for it. The university doesn't have an anti-littering anything on campus, and the fact that somebody came up with the idea to donate money to some sort of cause, and the gentleman is the reason why this class was created. They thought that they could get the best advertising students into the same class, the same program, and we've kind of exceeded his expectations from what he said at the workshop. So I think that there really is a need for the class, and that's kind of why it was kind of thrown together, but it worked. It's got different pieces of different departments, but it all kind of came together perfectly.